Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is Game 2 of some Peoria regional training that happened on August 26th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge today, August 31st, starting at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. And check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game too. Charizard on the left versus Lost Giratina on the right. Starting things off with Radiant Greninja hitting the bench there. Our Charizard player flexing, showing the Lost Giratina just cards from their hand, like, yep, this is what I got. Nest Ball being played here on the right. Nest Ball allows you to search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. No, you cannot play it if you already have 5 Pokemon on your bench. We see our Lost Giratina player here taking a look through their deck with their first deck search with that Nest Ball. This is something you'll see players do and is understood as the best thing to do on your first deck search in the Pokemon trading card game. Alright, so we are looking for that Battle VIP Pass. That's the name of the game, this format. Let me know in the comments, are you a pro Battle VIP Pass in the format, or not pro Battle VIP Pass, to put things nicely. Switch cart, going to switch that Comfey with the Sableye. Radiant Greninja uses its Concealed Cards ability to draw a couple cards by discarding an energy, and then Comfey in the active use its Flower Selecting ability to take a look at the top 2 cards of the deck, keep one of them, and put the other into the Lost Zone. So goodbye, Pokegear. I don't know, I never seem to hit Pokegear, or it always finds something irrelevant. But it looks like that's a pass. Okay, not the most turbo of a turn 1 for this Lost Giratina deck, but they got a card in the Lost Zone. They have Comfey active. That Comfey's safe, I'm sure, for this, through this next turn. So an okay start here on the right. On the left, in the Charizard realm, starting things off with a Chorus Experiment. Looking at the top 5 cards of the deck, keeping 3 of them and lost zoning 2. So again, we are hunting for this Battle VIP Pass here to set up our board nice and easy on turn 1. Going to add a Mew to the Lost Zone. That kind of feels bad, because Mew's Mysterious Tail is very good at picking out those Battle VIP Pass, but the other cards just must be more important. And Iono also going to the Lost Zone. This deck usually plays more copies of Iono, so not the end of the world there. Another Charmander hits the bench, and a Level Ball is being played. Level Ball lets you search your deck for a Pokemon that has 90 HP or less and add it to your hand. So probably going to find that Pidgey here to start getting the setup. Yeah, because the Mew's already gone. Now it's in the Lost Zone, so I think that's either another Charmander or a Pidgey. Probably Pidgey. Depends on what's in the hand, but if the active Charmander gets knocked out by like a Cramorant or something like that, then it's okay. You still have another Charmander on the bench, and this deck really realizes, or is built around having that Pidgeot with its quick search ability in play. Another debate here could be Manaphy, going for Manaphy, but Manaphy has to protect your engine, your deck, your deck pieces on the bench, on the field, and if you don't have the deck pieces on the field, then there's really nothing to protect. So yeah, it's got to be this Pidgey, I think, here off of this Level Ball. And are we going to see double no Battle VIP Pass turn ones? I think so. But we'll have to wait and see. Man, that Iono is so curved. You see that? I can't believe that. Why don't they do the dry printing or wet printing, whatever they call it, for the hollows like other card games do? Oh well. Radiant Charizard is going to hit the bench here. A energy attachment now can happen per turn, so just debating on where to put that one here. Gonna go on that Charmander. On the bench. Nice and safe, because you can assume that the active Charmander is going to get KO'd by a Cramorant here. It could not, but, I would play that way at least. The most beautiful Comfey hits the bench here. There we go. Giratina V-Star is evolved on the bench, followed by a Course Experiment to take a look at the top 5 cards. Keep 3 of them, and Lost Zone 2 of them. Comfey hits the Lost Zone as well as a Switch cart. Not too bad. Lots of copies of those cards in this deck, and there are already 2 Comfey on the field here. I haven't really seen the triple Comfey be a thing recently, so maybe it's just the games I'm watching. But anyways, active Comfey hits that flower selecting, taking a look at the top 2, and Lost Zoning the Jet Energy, keeping the other card in the hand there. Radiant Greninja uses concealed cards to discard an energy and draw 2 cards. Jet Energy is attached to the bench Comfey, bringing it active, and it will use a flower selecting of its own to Lost Zone an Escape Rope and keep another card. Path to the Peak, Holographic League. Path comes down, shutting off those Rule Box Pokemon abilities, most notably Pidgeot EX and Charizard EX abilities, and a pass. So, not a bad turn. Would love to have seen a Cramorant. Yeah, we could have had an easy Cramorant there if Cramorant would have been found. Just had to retreat with that Jet Energy, but that's okay. We got the paths to slow things down. Path and Pray, your opponent doesn't have the counter stadium. And play resumes here on Charizard's side. So let's see what we got here. A energy attachment per turn. Oh, gonna go on to that Radiant Charizard and an Iono being played. Okay, alright, that makes sense. You usually don't want to really have Radiant Charizard in play or energy attached to it till the end game. But it can start attacking early enough with this with Charizard EX's ability to accelerate fire and the other Pokemon Go Charizard to double up that fire energy on the board. We'll talk more about it as it becomes relevant. And yes, we see the Iono being played. I almost missed that. Iono, both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of the deck, and then they each draw for however remaining prize cards they have. So I think the Giratina player still has to resolve the Iono. But we'll continue play here on the Charizard side. In the meantime, we were chilling during this training session, so we might have some lags, some delays in the gameplay, but that's okay. That's why we have the power of time travel in the professor's lab with fast forwarding and rewinding. Ultra Ball is going to be played, discarding that Kindler and Fire Energy to search the deck for a Pokemon card. Looks like a Charmeleon is going to be found. Most likely going to evolve that Charmander on the bench there. A lot of the Stage 2 decks, Rare Candy decks, will still play at least one copy of the Stage 1 evolution. Just to have something to do in case Rare Candy is not found or all the combo pieces Rare Candy plus Stage 2 isn't found. Not too bad there. Looks like our Lost Giratina player is going to hit the Iono there on their side. And I think that really helped them out. Wasn't their hand like very low, way less than 6? And is that a pass over to the Giratina player? Not quite yet, it seems. Yeah, so if it's assuming it's still the Charizard's player's turn, Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pause things here. Excuse me. Alright, we're back. Excuse the pausing here, but very nice feature at least we can do. Flower selecting here on the right, sending that Manaphy to the Lost Zone. We don't need that card here in this matchup. Wonder if Path to the Peak did its job. Cramorant, there we go. Cramorant hitting the bench there, retreating into the second Comfey. Going to use the second flower selecting there, so a switch card must be in hand. Flower selecting, going to send that Giratina V to the Lost Zone. Don't really need that anymore with the full bench and a V-Star already there. Inventory of the discard pile being taken there. Definitely got to have the switch card in hand. Yep, switch card switching into that Cramorant, and Cramorant will spit innocently for free since there are 4 more cards in the Lost Zone onto that Charmander. Taking the KO. First KO taken here in this game. Charmeleon will be promoted into the active spot, and play will resume on Charizard's side. We definitely need that Pidgeot. Alright, energy attached. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, path. Alright, I see. Energy attached to the active. I'll go ahead and pause things down. And energy was attached to the Charmeleon. Charmeleon evolved into Charizard. Charizard, however, could not use its Infernal Rain ability since the Path to the Peak is in play, but that's okay. It's charged up at least, and we've got energy on the board, so not the worst thing in the world. And then a Professor's Research was played to discard the hand and draw 7 new cards. So let's see what we got. We're going to need more Pokemon. We need more Charmander on the bench. We need Rare Candy, Pidgeot to at least develop the board. We most importantly needed that Path to the Peak replacement stadium. Nest Ball, so that's good. We're going to find some more basic Pokemon. Nest Ball, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench. Even if the Path to the Peak counter was in hand, if you didn't have the Rare Candy Pidgeot to use this turn, I think you hold the Path to the Peak counter until next turn, but that's even if they have it. Ultra Ball is going to be played here, discarding Moltres and Fire, energy, to find another Pokemon, the Manaphy. Okay, that's good. I think that was worth it. Manaphy's ability says that your bench Pokemon do not take attack damage. That Radiant Greninja here on the right, that can do damage to the bench. So very good to have the Manaphy down here in this matchup to protect the baby Pokemon on the bench, because Radiant Greninja could easily take out that Pidgey and Charmander next turn. Yeah, with plenty of cards in the Lost Zone. There is the Path counter with the Magma Basin. Okay, so maybe really valuing the Fire Energy Acceleration here, which is why it was played right away, or at least this turn. Magma Basin lets you accelerate a Fire Energy to one of your Fire Pokemon at the cost of that Pokemon taking a couple damage counters. Excuse me. Alright, gonna accelerate Fire Energy onto that Radiant Charizard there, because yeah, it might have to start attacking a little sooner than it normally likes to. And KO with the Charizard EX onto that Cramorant there. I want to forget Cramorant's name. And Charizard's attack is called Burning Darkness, doing 210 damage right now. And now it's up to the Lost player to promote a Pokemon. Usually it's an easy Comfey promotion, but it depends on what's in hand. Looks like Comfey was actually the choice there. And now play will resume on Lost Giratina's side. Alright, inventory being taken of that discard pile there, seeing what options might be available, and potentially affecting the sequence of things here. Starting things off with a concealed cards, Radiant Greninja, discarding a energy card and drawing 2 cards. Usually do that before the flower selecting to help inform your decision. To help better inform your flower selecting choice, I should say. And let's see, a chorus. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in the Lost Zone, so that's enough to start Mirage Gating here. But we need 10 in there to do Giratina's Lost Requiem V-Star attack. Super Rod, gonna cycle some energy cards back into the deck from the discard pile. I didn't catch if it was all energy or if there was a Pokemon in there, and I'm too lazy to rewind right now, so let's hit that Mirage Gate. And yeah, it was just 3 energy cards, I think. A Mirage Gate item card. If there are 7 or more cards in your Lost Zone, you can search your deck for 2 different basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So a Grass energy and a Water energy are going to be attached to that Giratina V star there. It's powered up, but like I said, we need 10 energy in the Lost Zone in order for it to use its Star Requiem V-Star power attack. Star Requiem says you can only use its attack if you have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Your opponent's active Pokemon is just straight up knocked out. So it can take the KO on this Charizard, but we need 6, 7. We need 3 more cards in the Lost Zone. Now that's possible with a Chorus experiment and a flower selecting. So let's see if our Lost Giratina player can put this together. I see a Mirage Gate in hand, and that's about all I can see. So you would think if they had the Chorus, they would slam it down already. That Pokegear 3.0 is in the Lost Zone, so we can't find it with that. Based on the body language, it seems like they don't have it this turn, which is such a shame. That would put them in such a commanding spot here in this game, this training game here, training for the Peoria regionals. Are you guys going to Peoria? Let me know in the comments. I'll be a TCG judge there on Saturday. But anyways, the Comfey is going to use flower selecting to put a easy Battle VIP pass in the Lost Zone, keeping that other card there. And I think our Lost Zone count is up to 8 now. 2, 3, 4, counting 5, 6 with Professor V, 7, 8 cards in the Lost Zone there. And let's see what else they got. Yeah, like I said, my guess is they don't have the Chorus. Maybe they were looking for it with that. They must have been looking for it with the flower selecting there. And again, if they would have found it with the flower selecting, you'd think it would have been slammed. Anyways, Jet Energy is going to be attached to that Giratina V star on the bench, making it now the new active Pokemon with that Jet Energy, and we're just going to have to settle for a Lost Impact here. Lost Impact, 280 damage, put 2 energy cards attached to your Pokemon in the Lost Zone. So close, you hate to see it. But still putting on an immense amount of pressure here onto the Charizard deck. Having a lot slower start this game. 28, 29, 30, 31. So it has 3 damage left. You definitely don't want to start Requiem or Lost Impact on the Charizard again for knockout. But maybe you could attack with that Sableye Lost Mine next turn, especially now that we have, I think, the 10 cards. Yep, we got 10 cards in the Lost Zone now, so that's it. That's all we needed for all the lost requirements, all the lost card requirements. Play will resume here on Charizard's side. Alright, so what do we need to do? I don't think we're taking the one shot on the Giratina. No, we're not taking the one shot on the Giratina here. So maybe it's best to attack with the Charizard, Radiant Charizard on the bench if we can get enough energy on it. I don't remember if the basic switch has been played yet to get the Charizard EX out of the active spot. Charizard EX has 2 retreat costs, so I guess it can manually retreat, but man, that's just a lot of fire energy being put into the discard pile. So, gonna start things off with the Course Experiment and see what we got. Of course, Experiments looking at the top 5, keeping 3 and putting 2 in the Lost Zone. Obviously, a challenging decision here. with the player having to consult their discard pile, or their hand, their discard pile, then their hand again. So let's see, I see some fire energy in there, maybe an item card, some kind of item. Checking out what's already in the lost zone, and it looks like a fire energy and nest ball are put into the lost zone. The other three cards more important than those. Another baby Charmander put onto the bench. And let's see what else we got. A Super Rod. Super Rod lets you shuffle back in to your deck from the discard pile any combination up to 3 of basic energy and Pokemon cards. So that Pokemon Go Charizard, that Moltres, Inferno Wings Moltres, and probably an energy. Yep, another fire energy put back into the deck. No, actually valuing the Pokemon more. Interesting. So just depends on the player's counts of everything. But 3 Pokemon getting shuffled back into the deck there, thanks to that Super Rod. And let's see, there's just a few cards, a couple cards in the hand. So maybe not very many options here. Let's see, that Radiant Charizard. Can it start attacking? It has that ability where it can attack for less based off of how many cards prize cards your opponent has taken. But anyways, the Magma Basin accelerating fire energy from discard pile to that Charizard there. Charizard taking a couple damage counters for it. Radiant Charizard Excited Heart ability. This Pokemon's attack costs a colorless less for each prize card your opponent has taken. Combustion Blast costs 5. So yeah, we'd need a lot to get there. And this turn, I think if we were going to, we would have seen the Magma Basin accelerate to the Radiant Charizard instead of the Charmander. But anyways, a fire energy was attached from the hand to that other Charmander on the bench there. One attachment per turn. And it looks like we're just going to swing into the Giratina with the Charizard for 210 damage. Charizard EX attacking Giratina V-Star for 210 damage. Is it more than that? Am I tripping? No, we got 210 on there. Alright, and the attack ends the Charizard player's turn, and play will resume on Lost Giratina's side. You could really see in this game the lack of Pidgeot EX really coming into play here. That Magma Basin has been down, has been stuck there for a few turns, but doesn't matter. It's not countering Path, and Path isn't stopping Pidgeot EX. There's no Pidgeot EX in play. So it looks like a Radiant Greninja ability was played to discard a energy card and draw 2 cards. And we really want to attack with Sableye here. And that's step 1, to attach a Psychic Energy to Sableye. Giratina is going to manually retreat. That heavily damaged Giratina. Yep, but this is correct, I think. I agree with this. Giratina is going to retreat into Sableye there. Super Rod is going to cycle back 3 cards there into the deck. A Mirage Gate will be played to accelerate 2 different basic energy to their Pokemon in any way they like. So we're probably going to start powering up that undamaged, or should I say we're going to start powering up that Giratina V? No, actually still valuing the V-Star there. Interesting. Alright, Grass Energy and Psychic Energy attached to the Giratina V-Star that is heavily damaged on the bench there. I would say at this point here in this mid-game, looks like we're close to the end. Maybe someone ends up scooping before all the prize cards are taken, but it's looking like Giratina V is favored here. But anything can happen in the Pokemon trading card game. We'll just have to see what happens. There's the Path to the Peak, countering that Magma Basin and shutting off Rule Box Pokemon abilities. That means that Radiant Greninja's ability is shut off, but more importantly, the Radiant Charizard's ability is shut off, Charizard EX's ability is shut off, as well as Pidgeot EX. Very powerful card here. And let's see what our players got here. I know Sableye is going to put 3 damage counters onto the Charizard EX to take the KO with its Lost Mine ability, and that means we have 7 more damage counters. I guess you just take out the Manaphy. No, you take out the Pidgey, right? No, I was thinking of actually taking out both Charmanders. Okay, alright, I could see this. Yeah, the more straightforward play I think I might have gone for was taking out the taking out the active Charizard and the Pidgey, but it looks like the active Charizard and the Manaphy will end up being KO'd with Sableye's Lost Mine, spreading those damage counters on the opponent's side of the field. Here we go. Our players are dealing out some code cards here. Very smart of them, if they did it on purpose, to keep the code cards face down there. Pro gamer move there. Alright, and then 3 prize cards taking that turn. Let's see what our Charizard player can do here. Yeah, I think it might be too little too late for our Charizard player. They've got to evolve up those Charmanders and Pidgeot, really. If not, a Lost Mine comes in and takes the remaining prize cards. And yeah, just nothing really in the hand. No rare candy, no draw supporter. And I think we're going to scoop things up here on Charizard's side. Definitely a less explosive game for them this game versus the last one. And our players are just showing off their fancy cards here. I don't want to call it too soon because there's a bit of film left, and I don't want to call things too soon. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, so that's what would need to happen, and it looks like it cannot. Pokemon would need to evolve this turn to give them more HP to not be taken out by that Sableye. Sure, you can KO a Sableye, but this the lost decks are made to be able to attack back to back with Sableye if needed. So yep, that's going to do it for this game. Lost Giratina brings things back in this game too. Very cool. So what'd you guys think of this video in the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.